What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
Met up with a friend for lunch today. He was trying to get back into the con scene, so we're just talking about cosplays and convention trends and stuff like that. Out of nowhere, this dude's like, hey, you guys know anyone that needs guns? Wait, what? I mean, cosplayers need like fake guns and props. He's like, no. I got some real guns. Of course, me and Shana are just like, okay, what do you got? We do live in a world where it's crazy times for minorities right now. We finally live in a state where we can legally own firearms. So, of course, that caught our interest.
What are you selling?
What are you buying? Resident Evil 4, y'all, if y'all didn't catch that, reference. Anyways, he's like, all right, I got a 9mm. I got a 357 Magnum. Okay, Clint Eastwood, slow down. And I got an AR-15 assault rifle. Whoa.
Who was he purchasing guns for?
Speaking of Resident Evil, you got an arsenal.
Like he the Duke trying to serve Ethan or or Chris Redfield or something.
Wow, I didn't know you had this in you. My friend was a photographer. I know you shooting, but I didn't know you was shooting like that.
I know we were talking about guns, and I'm like, are we still talking about photography?
Yeah. It just made me have a flashback because my dad used to have a 357 revolver Magnum. Why? Because he watched a lot of Clint Eastwood movies, like the Dirty Harry series. And Dirty Harry always had a Magnum. My dad always wanted to be Dirty Harry. So back in the day, when my family first came to America, we lived in the Conway projects of California. It was a very rough neighborhood, and we lived in the projects. Like, we lived in the hood. They put our family in this little cul-de-sac U-turn kind of neighborhood where it was just like refugee, just people that just came to the country. During those times, California gang violence was prominent. For the rap fans out there, this is during like the NWA, LA, California was a war zone kind of deal. Like, it was bad. One day, my dad was mowing the lawn. When I say mowing the lawn, I mean, he was cutting the grass with scissors. We didn't have a lawnmower. My dad was just out there literally cutting the grass with scissors.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, he was just out there, snip, just minding his business. He didn't know any better. The government had put him in a house and said, you have to take care of the lawn.
He's like, I'll take care of it, all right.
Yeah, he didn't know he had to mow the lawn. He didn't know what a lawnmower was. One day, he was out there cutting the grass with scissors, and a random punk thought he was funny and tried to shoot my dad with a BB gun.
Oh.
All my dad saw from a distance was this guy had a gun. Mind you, my dad has fought in some wars back in Laos and Thailand, right? My dad,
he wasn't playing.
He was not playing. So when this dude pulled out a BB gun shooting at my dad instantly ran in the house, grabbed this 357 Magnum that was just sitting on the kitchen counter, came back out within the first minute, and started shooting at this kid.
Damn.
With real ass bullets, just like boom, boom, like Clint Eastwood shit. And then his homie, who lived across the street, saw my dad was shooting. This dude went in there and got his 44 Magnum, which is even a bigger gun. This the kind of Magnum that blows your head off.
Oh, shit.
With the long barrel. You know, if you see this shit in a movie, it's the kind of shit that you shoot and it kicks all the way back. Like, this dude was like 130 pounds. This gun was way too much gun for him. So you got my dad on one side of the street busting off his 357 cop-issued Magnum, and then his homie across the street is busting out the real Dirty Harry Magnum.
Oh, my God.
Shooting at this kid like, boom, boom, boom. Like, this shit was kicking like a shotgun. Needless to say, that kid never came back to the neighborhood again. Because those two weren't playing, because these two were friends from back in the old country.
Right.
Back in Laos and Thailand at the time. It was the Wild West, you know? It was like, someone come on your property, mess with you, you could kill them. And the government won't care because why? You live in the jungle.
Damn.
It was a lawless land, and that's what these two grew up with. A few other people tried, the neighbors and stuff like that, but every house on that block were friends of either my dad or the dude across the street. So these dudes go back to the old country. These dudes go back to the villages in the jungle. We kind of had our own neighborhood watch where if someone suspicious came, magnums came out. No chill, just pop, pop, pop. Just
Cat.
dude. Even on the 4th of July, right? We didn't have fireworks. These dudes just went out there, shot their guns in the air.
Y'all didn't know if it was fireworks or guns.
No. That was the life of living in the hoods of Cali. My dad and his homie across the street, they busted guns on the 4th of July every year. Just fun fact, my childhood friend, the guy that lived next door, his dad loved American movies so much, he named him John Wayne.
Damn.
He was the firstborn in America, so his dad named him John Wayne.
What?
His dad couldn't even pronounce John Wayne. They call him Joe Wei or John Wayne.
Oh, wow.
John Wei. That's what they used to call him because for some reason they couldn't say John Wayne. So they either called him Joe Wei or Ja Wei.
I'm laughing for 2 reasons. Like, this shit, it's not funny to be shooting at kids. But number one, that kid was about to learn today as to why you shouldn't be messing around with folks. Like, you don't know, especially in the ghetto, you don't know if something's real or not. So this kid was about to learn something, some like wisdom on this day. Like, I bet he threw that shit away as soon as he got home. I bet he got his ass kicked from his parents because he was probably going home crying like, the neighbors were shooting at me. Well, what were you doing to get shot at?
Oh, yeah. After those incidences, there was very few as the months went on. People knew not to mess with that block because you know why? Because Asian Clint Eastwood was waiting at every house because these dudes didn't know any better. And since we lived in the projects, the police didn't care what happened. Like, that's where the government stuck of the family. So we were there to defend ourselves.
And that's the number 2 thing that I'm laughing at because your neighbor came out the house was like, oh, we shooting? All right, hold my tea. Let me get my fofo.
Yo, that's what it was. Like, these dudes was ride or die because we was all jungle Asians. So it was like, if you shooting, I'm shooting.
That
no
is
questions asked.
hilarious. Like, he's just down for the get down. He was just ready.
There was another incident where some guy tried to steal the rims off of one of the neighbors' cars. Mr. Fofo across the street got a clear shot that dude right in the butt cheek. Like thigh, butt cheek, and that guy was like limping away.
I just hit the gunshot. Boom!
Yeah, like he was lucky that's where it hit him.
Who shot you in the ass? I shot you in the ass.
Luckily, that dude had mercy on him, was just like, you know what? You get a pass today because if the rest of the neighbors came out, that dude would have been dead.
Oh, my God.
Because if my dad came out and that dude was limping away holding his butt cheek,
oh, my God.
he would have been gone. That guy fought in the war with my dad. Like, these dudes was ride or die homies. They've been down since the beginning.
Man, you can't mess with folks, though. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. So that's a lesson to be learned.
This kid picked the one neighborhood where there was a OG war hero, a.k.a. your father, who just happened to be still on edge. Like, dude, you can't do that shit.
Triple OG.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine. Like, I thought I grew up in the hood, but damn.
No. It's like, funny story was like, my dad didn't understand how car loans work, right? So, you know, when you buy like a car off the lot, you put down a down payment and you make payments. My dad thought once you put down the down payment, you were good. He didn't make monthly payments. My dad bought a Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am. Like a fresh Trans Am off the lot. My dad didn't make payments for months. A tow truck came to repossess the car. Oh, best believe the neighborhood watch came out and they was about to shoot the tow truck driver.
Poor guy.
That guy was just doing his job, but the neighborhood came out, hey, yo, you better put down my homie's car. And
damn.
ooh, my dad came out in his drawers and everything, about to shoot this dude.
Holy shit.
But luckily, one of the other neighbors was like understood how it worked.
Right.
And explained it to him. And my dad was like, ain't that a bitch? Okay. So the tow truck driver, it's not his fault, but the guy that sold me the car, oh, if I ever see his ass again, busting out the magnums.
Damn.
Like they was about to go to the car dealership and show them some jungle Asian justice.
The whole block was about to show up and ruin this guy's life.
Because that dude did not explain to my dad how this worked and took
Right.
advantage of my dad being new to the country and all that shit.
Right.
Didn't know you got to make
That's
monthly
messed up.
payments. And my older brother remembered that. He was like, dude, dad gave me a knife and we was about to roll up on that dealership.
Shit.
We was about to follow him home and just mess up the whole family for taking the car.
I don't mess with folks, man. I do not mess with folks at all.
But anyways, don't
some
mean to
shit.
scare y'all.
That's
but
some shit.
a lot of y'all have never lived that life.
Mhm.
So appreciate the peace and the quiet you live. And when you see things on the news about people protesting, people popping off about being mistreated, how minorities are being done dirty, think about that kind of shit. Where there are a lot of families out there that don't understand how shit works. And these big companies, even small companies, a used car lot took advantage of my dad. Or even the neighborhood was just like, these are people new to the community. Let me try to rob them. Let me try to do some things. Don't forget, these people will defend themselves.
And some of these minority communities be rolling deep. So
yeah.
you better pick and choose your battles because you're going to be walking home with a cap in your ass, literally.
Systematic oppression, they put minorities in the community for a reason.
Right.
They don't want these Asians, these Mexicans, these blacks next to the white neighborhoods. Like, there's a reason why projects are full of minorities, because the government does that to you. They leave them to fend for themselves. So when shit pops off like that, don't be surprised, because
Don't be surprised.
there's been a lot of shootouts in the neighborhood we lived in where police never came. We were not even important. We weren't even on the radar, because that was the ghetto Asian sector where these are people that just came to America so they can figure it out for themselves. And you have pockets of that all across this country. So when my friend was like, y'all know anyone that wants some guns? I'm just like, yeah, shit.
Yes. Me.
Because during these trying times, being back in the Midwest, Shana and I will be the first to tell you that that shit hasn't gone anywhere.
No. Yeah, I definitely have felt the most racism. Being back in the Midwest, definitely felt the beady-eyed people who just watching you and just looking at you in a type of way. And it's like, dude, I can feel your beady little eyes in the back of my neck. I will give you something to look at. Trust and believe that. Because I was raised in Chicago. We lived in LA. We lived in these melting pot kind of areas. We don't have that. We don't have those things happening in those areas. Nobody cares if you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever the case is. Nobody cares about that in those areas. So that's why I'm not used to it. So being back here, I definitely feel that sting, and I definitely feel that oppression being back. And it's just like, it's just a lot. It's been a lot.
Or at least if they do in those other areas, they're very secret about it.
Right.
But being back here.
Oh, no, it's a night and day difference.
Oh, yeah. Being back here, people are brave. They're bold. They're not scared to be like, yeah, I don't like you. What?
And they will sit there and stare at you and just make you feel like back in the old days, or back when oppression was really, really, really prominent, back when segregation was a thing. They make you feel like that out here. And it's just an eye-opener, because I've been really comfortable up until now, and I've been living my life, and I've been free, and I've been doing things and going out at night by myself and doing things that I wouldn't normally do if I was like here or anything like that. But trust and believe, I'm done with that shit. Like, I don't go anywhere alone anymore, especially at night.
Anyways, with the worst transition of all time from racism and segregation to what I'm trying to talk about for this week, being back in Michigan has really just made me think about a lot of ventures I've done. For some of y'all that followed me before my cosplay life took off, I used to be really heavy into music. And it just made me just really think about the people that were involved in the journey of the music career that we were doing as a group. That experience has also carried over to the cosplay life. The common theme that I've always rolled with is you need a team to succeed. A lot of people that quote unquote make it, they don't do it alone. There's people in the background. There's people that come along for the ride. There's people that support. There's always somebody there, even if they're like a solo star, for example. Nobody really does this alone. And it just really had me thinking about all the people that have been in my life. A lot of them have come and gone. Before I got into the discussion with my friend about guns and what he's got for sale, we were talking about that as well. He asked me, do you still roll with this person? Do you still roll with that person? I'm just like, to be honest, I don't. He's like, well, why? Y'all seem so close. The answer came to me quickly. These people didn't play their position and they got too big for their britches. They wanted more than they deserved, or they wanted more before it was their time. And egos clashed. We went our separate ways. I've seen that in the music scene. I've seen that in the cosplay scene. I've seen that in the YouTube space. Hell, I used to be a street racer. I've seen that in the street racing scene as well. Every community you go into, that is a common problem. Some person on the crew, on the squad, thinks they're bigger than they are, and they ruin it for not just themselves, but for the team as a whole. So that's what I want to talk about. I know a lot of y'all out in the cosplay world, y'all ain't trying to be famous singers or rappers or street racers or whatever, but it could be as simple as trying to have a group cosplay. The feng shui is off as soon as you have one person that doesn't know how to play their position. Right off the bat, there's one person that comes to mind. When Shana and I were beginning our cosplay career, our Comic-Con hustle, our fashion hustle or whatnot, we had a friend that we tried to bring on board. This person was always down to model. They were down to be at the events. They were super supportive. Before we brought them on board, this person was literally a nobody. We presented this idea to them. At the time, Shana and I already had a little bit of a local buzz going, and we wanted to expand what we had going. Shana was doing fashion. I was hosting parties and events. Shana needed models. I needed someone that could dance on stage because we also were in charge of like booking dancers for cons because we used to like dance at con raves ourselves. So fun fact, like I used to be a go-go dancer. And so was Shana, and we both used to get paid to dance our ass off at clubs and bars. But you know, that's a whole nother life that, you know, we don't need to talk about right now. But y'all can just picture the go-go outfits on both of us. But anyways, we found this person that fit both categories. She could dance and she could model, and she was great. And it started off so well. We just figured, all right, cool. We have a person to add to this team. Obviously, Sean and I can't do everything. But then after a while, it started going downhill.
As soon as we made this girl her very own fan page on Facebook, her ego just went out of control. Like, I'm telling you, this girl went from shy, meek person to, I'm going to do meetups at conventions and I'm going to do my own things on my own time. Okay, dude, I guess. Like, this is out of nowhere and out of left field. Too big for her britches, and just like totally thinking that me and you didn't matter anymore. Like, nothing mattered. It was just her, and this was the so-and-so show, and that this was just her thing. You can sell that persona to who you want to, but don't bite the hand that fed you. We introduced this person to the scene. We put her on. We made her a fan page. We pretty much got her out of her shell because she was very like shy. She wouldn't really do those kinds of things. Like, she wasn't an in-your-face kind of person, but we were the people that really believed in her and really wanted to see her shine, and we gave that to her. And then she was just all of a sudden one day just didn't know who we were.
You can lie to yourself. You can lie to your fans all you want, but bitch, you can't lie to us. We made you. We know how successful you really are and how successful you're not. But yet, she believed her lies so much that she put it on us like, well, I'm a big shot now. No,
Since
you're
when?
not. When did you have an opportunity that we didn't put you on? Every stage you performed on, every runway you've walked down has been because of either me or Shana. That's when it got out of control. I've helped develop artists before. We had a plan to help build her brand so she could go out on her own and start booking gigs. She didn't even wait for the preseason to pop off. This girl was already at the Super Bowl performing with Madonna. Like, girl, you haven't even played your first football game. Not really. You've been in practice sessions. Shortly after that, we had to cut her off. We had a very big event. One of the biggest events of our life. We had a very special guest that cost a lot of money to be there, and this girl was on her high horse.
This girl just took it above and beyond in her own little world. She not only just totally dismissed protocol. Say she was supposed to dance on stage and we had a theme for the girls to wear, like different colors or a different outfit. She just showed up in her own clothes, own shoes, own thing. Just, she was the sore thumb that stuck out. Didn't care. And then on top of that, she would show up on stage, do her thing, and then invite people backstage for her to make out with. There's a certain professional etiquette you have to portray in these situations. You can't just get a gig and do what you want. But on top of that, invite people back in the place where it's supposed to be for you, but you're inviting these like extra people that don't need to be there. And that's just being totally unprofessional. Like, who does that?
She was on some sloppy shit too. I remember walking in the green room where all the talent was supposed to be. Like, that was the break area. Plus, our client had their own little VIP section in there. This girl's on the floor on top of this dude just making out and dry humping. And the client's like trying to walk over them. I remember because I walked in the room when that was happening. I was like, really? Y'all just going to roll on the ground and make out and dry hump? And I was like, nah. Like, needless to say, she was cut off after that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I paid you to be here. I gave you this opportunity. I've been building you up from nothing. And now this is where you're at. And again, it's like, she could have been somebody. She could have had her moment. And we were working our way up to that. But she wanted more right then and now. She didn't want to play her part. Like, girl, we're the people in charge. You're just the dancer or the model. You have to let your level of fame build up before you can just take control like that.
Yeah.
And she was satisfied with her little bit of a buzz she got, and she messed it up for herself. All right, let's take it to a non-personal level. Let's just take it to some new people trying to interact in our life. Again, people need to play their position and just learn when it's their time to step up. During the pandemic, it's pretty fair to say 90% of the cosplay community started streaming on Twitch because that was their next new hustle. As much as people didn't want to admit to it, as much as some of y'all didn't want to admit to it, you know, I'm going to look at the camera and point out there, y'all thought this was your moment to be Twitch famous. Nothing wrong with that, but let's just accept that truth. No matter what y'all say, I'm only streaming for my friends. Oh, really?
Really?
Really? You could also Google Hangout with your friends too. You can also Zoom and Skype call, hang out with your friends. But anyways, y'all was trying to be Twitch famous, so let's put that in our pocket and accept it. With that comes the people that only tune in because they have an ulterior motive. We've noticed that so quickly. But there's one individual that stuck out so much because he not only tuned in my stream or her stream, he tuned in a lot of mutual streams. What was he doing, Shana?
Pretty much playing the woe is me card. Like, oh, you know, it's great that you're doing this and doing that. I see your numbers are growing. That's really cool. And mind you, he's talking to people that have been on Twitch way longer than him, be it a couple months, maybe a year at this point, and he's talking to them about their progress, and he's like, well, I've been on Twitch for a while now, and, you know, I don't have any numbers. I should be up here by now, but I'm just down here. I should have a certain amount of followers. I should have a certain amount of watchers. I should have a certain amount of subscribers and this and that. It's like, first of all, dude, you have not been on Twitch that long. He started streaming in 2021.
Ooh.
He had only been on for a couple months. Him doing that and saying those things, to me, it was like doing the most. There's so many other creators on Twitch that have been on Twitch for so much longer than this person, who still haven't gotten their roses, who still don't have millions of subscribers or even like a handful. And he's over here 2 months in. How come I don't have enough followers and subscribers? I should be here, but you know, I'm down here still. I got something to tell you, bro. You need to wait your butt in line and wait for your turn. And on a side note, this guy has no social media presence, has never cosplayed. So how can you sit there and demand something to be given to you when you've never done anything in your life to earn it?
This person, I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. I tried to be supportive. I get it. Everyone has to start somewhere, but you cannot start with this entitlement attitude. You don't deserve all these followers just because you're putting in so much time on Twitch. I'm gonna be real with y'all, starting Twitch for the first time, especially if y'all trying to do crafting streams. Just because you turn on that webcam doesn't mean people have to give a damn about you. As Shana said, so many people have been putting so much time into just live streaming. Live streaming itself is its own beast. Then there's people that have put in time to master the art of crafting that they feel comfortable to turn on a camera. So you're trying to tell me not only are you streaming for the first time, you're trying to be a influencer for the first time, and you're making a cosplay for the first time? Like, those are three virgin first. What annoys me is I've noticed he's tuned on to people's streams, not to support, but to make people feel sorry for him. He's tuned into my stream. He's tuned into Shana's stream. He's tuned into a couple of my mutual friends' streams. And he has the same MO. He'll pop up, hey, what's up, Renji? How you doing, dude? But then a couple comments in, he's going to start to promote himself. He'll trigger some kind of conversation that will get Shana and I to talk about our cosplay life or something we've done in cosplay. And then he will flip it to a sob story, a woe is me moment about him. There's one example. Shana and I were doing a dual stream. We're doing our pajama party stream where both of us stream together. He asked us about, are y'all working on any cosplays and stuff like that? We had said something about, yeah, we're working on some cosplays, just nothing serious, just some basic shit. He took that moment to be like, basic shit? Y'all doing way more than basic shit because no one's asked me to be on the red carpet for Avengers Endgame, but you and Shana was all up in Hollywood on the red carpet. Must be nice. Let me break down that statement. Let me credit you guys, but let me bring attention back to me. I haven't had those opportunities, so when y'all say y'all doing some regular shit, y'all ain't doing regular shit because I'm doing regular shit, so why don't y'all feel bad for me? Followed by, I've been working on my first cosplay for a couple months and it's been very labor intensive and no one's showing me any attention while y'all, backhand compliment time, y'all just saying you're doing these simple cosplays. Well, it must be nice, another backhand compliment, that y'all making these simple cosplays and y'all getting noticed while people like me, woe is me moment, are working on these epic armor builds and no one's noticing me. And this is what he does time and time again. He'll tune into someone's stream and be like, the way you cut your armor is so precise. I wish my cuts were that nice. Cosplayer replies by, all you gotta do is have sharp blades and so and so and so forth. Well, I sharpen my blades and my cuts still aren't that nice. Maybe because I'm just a beginner level cosplayer and I don't know all that. And I've been working so hard. Wham, 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 blah, blah, blah. Come look at my page. You don't appreciate the art, dude.
As an artist, that really did hit a little different. Dude, there's artists out there who've been doing the same thing for years and still don't get their roses, who still don't get acknowledged. And you over here talking about you've been working on this shit for one project for 2 months?
Yeah.
2 months?
Exactly.
Really? And you think you deserve something? You deserve your recognition? You deserve to be on the red carpet for your costume that you didn't even finish yet?
Yeah, it's not even done. It's not even done.
That's the shit I'm talking about. Like, as an artist, it's like you are really out there throwing shade when you don't even have a tree to throw shade with.
Yeah. You want an Oscar for a movie that you don't even have a script for.
Exactly.
Bro, that sense of entitlement. Don't get it twisted. Sean and I love supporting our peers that have a real drive, that have a real hustle. But when it comes to these new booties, for lack of better words, you haven't earned that spot in my life.
That dude doesn't even do that. I have never even heard of this person unless it was on Twitch. Doesn't follow either of us on social media.
Facts.
Does not follow
Facts.
either of us or any of the mutuals he was crying to on social media. And it's like, if you can't even give a compliment or you can't even follow that
Facts.
person, what are you doing?
That's why I always said this person has no social media presence, has no influencer presence. But it's like, bro, you've never commented on anything I've done.
He sure knew a lot, though.
Oh, he definitely knew everything about us, but I've never seen you on a YouTube comment. I've never seen you talk to me live at an event. All of a sudden, you trying to do one of the things that we do. Now you are best friends. It's like, bruh, I've been on YouTube. I've been doing my thing for the last 10 years. Shana's been streaming for over the last 6 years, but you was never there once to support. So
all of a sudden,
exactly. Now that you doing it, you want us to show you the same love? No, it's like when these strangers reach out the woodwork and just demand your respect. It's like, no, play your position.
Yeah.
Understand where you are. You haven't showed your support, so you can't command a certain level back.
Because at the end of the day, you got to give respect to get respect. If you ain't out here respecting the people that came before you, people who are out here making moves, if you don't respect that, how you going to expect respect for yourself.
Exactly. You didn't put in 40 hours at work. You ain't getting paid for 40 hours at work.
Exactly. That's the simplest way I can put it.
Bitch, because you ain't work here long enough to get that vacation time. So you about to take this holiday weekend with no pay, bitch.
Where were you? Where were you? Were you there? But were you there? No, you were not. So sit down, take a chill pill, and wait in line, homie, because the rest of us have been in line way longer than you, and a lot of other people deserve that respect over you. So you just need to just chill out. Just zip it.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is this person's respect? Nowhere. Nowhere.
Your respect is somewhere lost in the world with Carmen Sandiego. For those of y'all old enough to remember what Carmen Sandiego was.
Homie, you lost, man. You lost.
You lost without a map, no GPS, pre-map quest days. You better learn to read some street signs. We've been throwing a lot of shade and a lot of disrespect to some of these people that was just reaching too far or too big for their britches. Let me give you a positive example of how to play your role for the team and wait your turn. So back in the day when I was a part of a hip-hop group and we was touring, we was out on these streets 2-3 times a week just performing at bars and clubs, hosting our events in our local town. Like, we was making money off of this music shit. There was this one dude, couldn't produce, couldn't make beats, couldn't write songs, couldn't sing, couldn't rap, couldn't do nothing like that. But what he could do was volunteer his time to promote his ass off. He wanted to be the street team marketing leader. Which pretty much meant if you need a guy to hand out flyers and promote your event, he was the guy. If you needed someone to go to a show with you and promote the group, he was loyal to the core. Every time we had a concert or a party we were promoting, he was right there. He'd be like, yo, call me up. I'm going to hand out these flyers with you. Sometimes I'd call him up 2-3 times a week, and we would drive within an hour radius of where our show was, and this dude was out there handing out flyers, talking to the stores, talking to the restaurants. Hey, we're having a show. Can we put out flyers? When we went to a show, he was out in the crowd talking to people. Sure enough, as soon as we hit the stage, who was up front? That girl that our boy talked to. I forgot to mention, this dude went by the name Hollywood because he was a superstar. But that's what he was. When it came to marketing and street team shit, he was a superstar. He was just out there making sure people gave a damn about what we were doing.
Right.
This dude was down for years. Mind you, we all worked first shift. Every time we had a show, no matter if it was 2-3 hours away, he was down. I'd be like, yo, I booked us a gig on Tuesday. You down to drive 3 hours to Detroit? He'd be like, yep. Get in the car. We go to Detroit, do our thing, hang out till 2 in the morning when the bar closed, drive right back to where we live, went to work the next morning. Got like 10 minutes of sleep in the car ride or whatnot because, you know, we all hyped after the show, so ain't nobody sleeping in the car ride. And this dude did this for years. During this time, though, he worked his way up. He went from being the guy that just hands out flyers to being a promoter himself. Started teaching him how to host his own events because as the years went on, the group started splitting up. I moved to Chicago, but he was still in Michigan. So I passed the Olympic torch to him like, bro, it's in your hands now. So then I dropped my game on him to teach him the ways. So when I left Michigan, this dude knew it was his time to step up. Since he already had worked with our group, he had the connections to all the same bars, clubs, and venues that we performed at. And because he worked with us, he could be like, hey, I was part of Renji's thing. And these venues would be like, okay, cool. And they gave him his opportunities. So without even skipping a beat, I left, but he took over and he carried the torch on to where he was the guy in charge now. He formed his own little crew. This dude started booking out shows, throwing parties. He took it a step further. We were only showcasing local artists. This dude was bringing in like national artists, like people you see on TV and shit. He was bringing some big name hip hop and R&B acts to markets that never expected it. Fast forward to today, this dude moved from Michigan to Vegas. Now he's promoting for the MGM.
Oh, wow.
He's promoting for some big shit. And like he's landing deals that's bringing Drake to the MGM. He's doing all kinds of real shit. And all the experience he had with us as a crew, as a record label, he's now managing his own artists. And his artists are popping off. They're doing their own shows. So he's not only being a manager and the boss of a record label, he's also making these deals for like these big casinos, these big hotels, and just locking that shit down. Not once in the time that he had worked with us did he overstep his boundaries, that he wanted more than he deserved or whatever. And like we said, I'm always about boosting people in the crew up, but that comes with time, respect, and experience. And he played his part. So that's why when I was ready to step away from my position, I was so willing to pass the torch to him. I'm like, look, dude, you've showed us so much loyalty. You've done so much. Here's everything we've ever worked on. So he was able just to step in the game and have all the contacts that we built together as a crew. That's what playing your part means. So Hollywood, I know you out in Vegas. Congratulations to you, bro. I'm so proud of you. I know you out there doing big things, so you don't listen to my little podcast these days, but in spirit, the universe will tell you that I am proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You one of the few in my life that have actually stepped up from the position they began with. The experience you have with people, as long as you're patient and understand the level you're at, things can pop off for you.
Yeah.
Now that we put some positive shit out there, let's go back to throwing some shade. What you got, Shana?
While we were living out in LA, of course, we got these opportunities that were native to the area. We got to do these events. We got to work with well-known people in the industry and just do a lot of cool and awesome things. One of the first things that I got the opportunity to do was to be on movie sets and TV show sets. I've worked on a lot of TV, and it wasn't until I started throwing out those names that like Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder. I would have people come out the woodwork and just be like, next time I come out there, I want you to show me to these studios, and I want you to show me how to do these things, and I want you to do this for me and do that for me. I'm like, first of all, who are you? These people that were coming out of the woodwork weren't even my friends. I'm just like, and I'm supposed to do these things for you because
What?
Am I missing something here? When you do go out to these places like LA or be at New York or whatever it is, you're going to have these opportunities because you're there in the area. Refer back to one of our podcasts talking about leaving your hometowns and getting rid of your safety net and being in these areas where you're going to get these opportunities. Because I'm modest, I will say my truth. I did the work. I did what I needed to do to be in this area to get these opportunities. It's not like I'm just special and like the gods just blessed me and I'm just on ER or whatever that you've ever heard of. It's like, it's not about that. But at the same time, you as a person, don't reach out to people that you know or that you have heard of or whatever and just expect a handout from these people. That's not tasteful at all. That's not. It's tacky. It makes you look like a type of way. It makes you look like you're just holding your hand out for an opportunity. It's like, I didn't do that. I didn't go to so-and-so and be like, hey, give me an opportunity. Wait a minute. No, I worked my ass off to get to that position. I worked my ass off to get the opportunity. What makes you think you can just step to anyone, and just be like, what about me? What about me? Like, why? Why do people do that?
It's like, first off, buy me a drink before you try to take me home and screw me, okay? You need a little foreplay in your plans here, and so many people don't get that. Even if you were just trying to finesse someone to get an opportunity, the key word is you need to finesse them. But there's been so many people that just had no chill who are just like, hey, gimme. And it's like, who are you? I remember when we first moved there, someone had messaged us both at the same time. The person that messaged us, we didn't even know them, but then they tagged their friend like, hey, Renji, hey, Shana, see you out in LA, and I have a friend that wants to go out there to pursue voice acting and regular acting, and I just wanted them to talk to you guys to pick your brain on how to go about it. And we reading the message at the same time at the grocery store like, do you know so-and-so? No. And it's like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't mind helping out people that I know, people that are in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just some rando, again, who are you to demand a moment in anyone's time if you've never been involved?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to social media, this person has never commented on anything, has never liked on anything. And I definitely looked at all their pictures. So I'm just like, no, we've never met either. You just randomly added me on Facebook during that era where I accepted any friend request, and that's why you're there. It's like, I don't know you like that. And I will go back and click that message tab to make sure we've never conversated, or if we did, so I can know where I met you. But a lot of people on my social media, they're there because there was an era in my life where any friend request I got, accept, because my Facebook has never been personal to me. It was always a business tool, so I didn't care who was on my Facebook. It's like, if you want to follow me, you can look at everything I'm doing. If I want to post about taking a shit, congratulations. You know I'm taking a shit on a Tuesday.
There was other opportunities that I got invited to, like the red carpet event for the Avengers Endgame world premiere. I had gotten invited, and after I was on the red carpet, people were just, again, coming out the woodwork like, dude, so next time that you're on a red carpet event, remember me. Who are you? Remember you? How can I remember someone that I haven't met?
Exactly.
Who are you? It's like these people will just grab at straws, and it's like they can't let somebody just live their moment and have their moment, because these things didn't just happen like every Tuesday or anything like that. It was something that was special that happened for me. When is someone going to be like, okay, congratulations, good job, that's awesome? People aren't like that, though. They don't want to congratulate you. They don't want to see you have a good time. They just want to know when they can be on the next thing.
Yeah, there was definitely like, gimme. Hey, I saw you take a picture with Anthony Mackie. Next time you see him,
put in a good word for me.
Yeah. They saw you with the actor that played Shuri and the director of Black Panther, and they're just like, oh, yo, tell him about my Black Panther cosplay.
Tell him about the movie that I'm making next year or whatever. I'm like, it's not like that. It's not like that because I don't know you. Even if I did know you, I can't just go up to Ryan Coogler and be like, dude, this so-and-so person's got a movie, you should like really check it out.
Yeah. It's one thing if you are actual friends and you've been putting in the work with us,
right,
and we've built this empire together. Of course, we're going to look out for each other. So don't get it twisted. Like my boy Hollywood, this dude's been down since the get-go. So when we could help him and give him his opportunity, he's earned it. He's put in his work. But for all these randos on Facebook, we're just like, hey, next time you're on the red carpet, mention me. No, bitch, I'm not.
Who are you?
Have you ever shared my picture and mentioned me? No, bitch. No, it didn't work like that.
Thank you. People that didn't even follow me on social media was just seeing my shit being tagged everywhere and was like, oh yeah, that girl knows the other girl that I know that's from my high school, but that I didn't really talk to them, but I kind of know you, I kind of seen you around. You don't even follow me. What do you mean?
And that's the worst, when they don't even follow you and they send you a DM and then you click on their profile, be like, you don't even follow me.
I love when Instagram says does not follow each other or like something like that. It's like, okay, so what is the point in all
Y'all
this?
can't even fake it. Like, y'all can't even fake like you really supporting people.
I know you could have followed me like a week in advance or something and just be like, yo, here's the deal. But now you can't even do that.
Not trying to teach y'all how to fake it till you make it, but damn.
But you can't even do that. Like, seriously, you didn't put no thought into this shit.
If you're going to reach out to someone in the DMs and ask for their help, at least fake it. Like, follow them a week in advance, like a bunch of pictures, comment on some shit. At least make it look like you've been in the game. But you haven't.
Same thing when I was working with King Vader. People saw that shit and was like, dude, hook me up. I'm like, I barely know him myself. Like, come on.
That's another thing, too. It's like, well, first off, you live in, like, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Can you get to California where King Vader is? Well, no. Then stop
shut
asking.
up.
Yeah. Shut up and stop asking, because if King Vader called you, can you afford to fly over there?
Could you make it in time?
No. So if you know that, then don't ask. But next thing is like, I have this opportunity for myself. I'm trying to make the best out of this for me first. Let me get settled in before you come ask to sleep over at my new house. Let me take a shit on my toilet. I want my booty to be the first thing that touches the rim. Damn, let me enjoy my new toilet before you try to shit all over my house.
I had a friend who would go shopping with me at the mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would buy an outfit that she also liked. And then she would already be in the car on the way home talking about when she can borrow my outfit. I'm like, first of all, we ain't even the same size. And you over here talking about you want to squeeze into my outfit before I even get a chance to wear it. What is your problem? Why are people like that? They can't let you have a moment to yourself. It's like, damn, just let me shit in peace in my own bathroom. Like, why you got to be in here too? Smelling my stink. And you over here, you want to wipe my asshole too?
Exactly. Let people shit in peace and smell their own stank. Okay? Wait till they open the doors, and then you can enjoy the stank afterwards. But that's how it be, though, in the cosplay community, and I hate that so much. People can't let you enjoy your success before they reach out and be like, give me that, too. Like, nah, bro. I don't mind sharing opportunities with people when the time is right, because it goes to a deeper level. It's like, say I do recommend you to King Vader, right? And be like, yo, this person in Pennsylvania, you gotta have him in your video. And King Vader's like, all right, I want him. Then you don't show up because you're not capable or able. You just mess it up for the both of us. So now I look like an asshole because I recommended you and you weren't ready for this opportunity. That's why I said in the last 2 podcasts, you need to be ready for the opportunities you're asking for.
Oh, yeah.
This moment is in front of you. Are you ready to act, or are you going to hesitate? I can't make it because I got to work on Tuesday. Well, is your job at McDonald's that much more important than this opportunity? If you ain't willing to take this opportunity and lose that job, then you ain't really about this life. So if you ain't about this life, don't waste my time and ask me for a handout that I was ready to ride or die for, that I was ready to quit my job for this opportunity.
Because even with that, when you're working with someone, you have that one chance to impress them yourself. So for you to refer someone else into that limelight, into that circle, you have one chance yet again to impress that person, to make an impression. And that goes so far and in between. It's like you don't know what's going to happen when you stick your neck out for somebody else. I can speak for myself, but I don't know if you're going to show up. I don't know if you're going to do something wrong or make a fool out of yourself in front of this person. You only get one chance, and then that's it. So ask yourself before you start asking for handouts, can you handle this? Can you do this? Can you rely on yourself to come through for these opportunities? Can you represent yourself in a way that can be put on the red carpet and can be put in front of a camera? Can you do that?
And those are good questions, because there's been times where we've had events with special guests of some kind of a status, and some of our crew members could not behave professionally. They just started asking all kinds of personal questions. So, why'd you do this at this event? Like, I thought that was stupid. Really? You're going to ask some dumb shit like that, breaking the vibe of the special guest. We're at a live event. Why would you ask something that would make them get into a bad mood?
And furthermore, why would you waste that moment, that first impression moment? First impressions are very important. They're everything in certain circumstances, and you're going to waste that asking stupid questions?
We've had someone backstage ask one of our high-profile clients before, yo, so I saw you on this TV show, and I thought it was stupid. Why would you make a show like that? Bitch, this is why I asked you, do not talk to the talent.
This is why you're supposed to be in the corner where I can see you, okay?
Yeah. You're only here to model for 10 minutes. Do not mess up what I paid this person to be here for. I paid you, but I paid this person at least $1,000 to be here. So you ain't about to mess this up for me. So you better shut your mouth and sit in your hole. And that's what we talking about. Like, you not only messing up for yourself, but you're messing up for me, the person that hired you.
Right.
The promoter, the organizer, Shana, the designer, the venue. Now this person's going to remember that stupid comment and be like, next time Renji wants me to work for him, no.
Because they're going to associate all that dumbness with this one incident, and due to no fault of your own or anyone else's fault, but you just couldn't shut your mouth.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes.
And it comes back to us. So the next time we have an event, guess who's not walking down Shauna's runway? Your dumb ass.
Yeah. And people wonder why. Why can't everybody just have a piece of it? Well, because not everyone can handle it.
Exactly.
It's just that. It's simple.
You just like a dog that sees his treat across the street and he's just like, and he knows there's traffic coming, but he's just like,
just runs into traffic
and
anyways.
He runs off and gets ran over by a damn semi-truck. His master was just like, stay. He pulled the collar, but he still busted the collar and got himself hit by a car. And that's what the girl did. Got herself hit by a semi-truck, and she's never been in anything I've done ever since.
But there's reasons for that, though. There's reasons. It's like, dude, you can't just curtsy and look the other way. It's just one more story before we cut this video, okay? If you and your significant other are both artists, let your significant other have their moment to shine on their own without you having your hand out. That is a number one big no-no. That's a number one pet peeve. It's like coming off that same note as you having your hands out to your peers and people that you know. It's even worse when it's your significant other. We know so many cosplay couples that are, one's more famous than the other. One's more popular than the other. There's this one couple. The male was more popular than the female. And the female at the time was an up-and-comer. This person was, trying to make her name in the scene. And, she was doing a good job on her own. But then her boyfriend, the male in this scenario, was doing so much more, but that person was also established way before they were even with this person. The boyfriend was fit. Like, he was a Greek god. Like, he had, his abs had abs.
Ooh.
He was just,
I wanted to lick,
dripping.
I wanted to lick his chest up and down. I ain't gonna lie. He was such a sexy boy.
He also established his own business. He was selling patterns. He was making cosplay pieces and selling that. And he was already on the market way before he met this girl.
He was a full-time professional cosplayer.
Yes.
For lack of better words.
Yes.
He already was established.
Oh, yeah. Way before he met his girlfriend. And then when he met his girlfriend, it wasn't a competition or anything like that. He never made her feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, she would always insert herself and was like, always trying to get him to share the wealth.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can do that. Sometimes if you come as a duo, if you come as a package, you can very well finagle your way into, sharing the wealth and doing those kinds of things. But not all the time.
That's what he was doing, though. He would bring her to events that she wouldn't usually go to. They would cosplay together, and he definitely put her on the map. She went from 3,000 followers to 30,000 followers because of him.
I'm just saying in the fact that it's not supposed to be like something you should get used to doing because your opportunities come to you for a reason. Just you. Like if it's specifically you, companies want you for some reason or they want you for your talent, but they don't know about so-and-so, whether it be your friend or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. They're not trying to get them because if they wanted them, they would have just asked that person. But these opportunities, and what I was saying before, like with the whole first impression thing, like you have that one shot with that person, with that company or whatever it is to sell yourself. In this scenario, the boyfriend had to sell not only himself, but his girlfriend because she would make him do that. She would go out of her way to be like, no, it's cool that you got this opportunity, but what are you going to do for me? And it was that every single time this guy got something. He'll be working with a movie producer, game developer, this so-and-so TV, anything. Like he would be doing these opportunities and she would be like, yo, where's my ticket? Why would you do that? That is so unprofessional. But it's like, if you're that person's significant other, why can't you just let that person shine on their own? She would not let this guy shine at all.
No. She definitely cost him a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Because he would have to negotiate her in the deal and they'd be like, you know what? No, we want you. Mm-hmm. We don't know who this bitch is. No offense to your girlfriend, but we don't know who this bitch is. So either you take the deal just for you or you're done. Mm-hmm. Because he loved this girl, he tried to negotiate the deals with them, and it cost him vital opportunities. Mm-hmm. He would even try to explain to her, like, look, they're not willing to budge. And she'd be like, no. Don't take that deal unless it involves both of us. And she cost him a lot of his livelihood. So again, Shana's an up-and-comer, but I followed them both before, and this girl was a nobody.
Renji keeping it real.
Girl, this bitch was a nobody. All right, let me keep it even more real. This bitch was a nobody, but he gave up so many opportunities because of her. If you just played your part, let him win so he can bring you on board. And it's just like, that's the worst when your significant other can't wait for their moment.
And what's even worse about that is when it's your significant other, it becomes more personal than these people just reaching out and having their hands out. Because those people you can just put on the back burner and be like, whatever, like, you're no one. But like, if it's someone that's living with you or someone that you have around you all the time, it becomes personal. And it's like, so are you with me because you thought you could get a free meal ticket, or are you there with me because you want to be with me? And that just crosses that dangerous line that you shouldn't cross in a relationship.
We'll bring it back to me and Shana. When Shana was on the red carpet for the Avengers Endgame, as much as I wanted to be on there, I didn't want to be like, hey, Shana, can you make sure I'm there too? I want to be there. Like, I want to meet the celebrities. But it was just like time and place. It's like, that was Shana's moment. I didn't want to hold a gun to her and be like, you can't go unless I go.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because if you think someone who's just coming into my world, you don't even know me, you don't even follow me on social media, think of Renji. He is my significant other. I couldn't get him on the red carpet. So what makes you think that I'm going to get you, someone who I don't even know, on the red carpet or anything that I'm doing? I can't even get Renji in, like, behind the scenes on like a movie lot or a TV lot or whatever the case is. I can't even do that because you need specific instructions and permission from the higher person for that. They're taking a chance on me. I can't even let someone like Renji, who is significant in my life, I can't even let him in and do things for him, let alone someone who's Joe Blow or Jane Blow out in the dust somewhere. It's like, who do you think you are? You know, like, you need to really humble yourself at the end of the day, because there's certain things that I can do that he can't do. And there's certain things that he does that I can't do. We have the understanding, honestly. Like, it's not that deep. There's certain things that we just cannot do together, and that's okay.
That's the professional industry. Your opportunities are your opportunities alone.
Yeah.
As much as you want to share them, bring other people on board, you can't. The people that are the real people in your life, they'll understand that.
Yeah.
They'll understand that was meant for you. You can't bring anyone else on board. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of our peers, cosplayers, to accept. Give them the respect and be happy for them. Don't be bitter because you're not a part of that moment. Because half the time, no. Because 90% of the time, you did nothing to contribute to that moment.
He's voguing right now.
Yeah. So if y'all were watching the video, you did nothing to contribute to that moment. Boy band hand signals. Because you definitely a hater on some top-notch hater shit if you can't be happy for your friend's success.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's times where I'll see my friend doing something big and I'll feel a type of way towards myself, but that's my insecurity showing like, damn, this dude got this moment. Why don't I have that moment? But I also check myself and be like, you know what, dude? They did what they had to do to get that moment. Be confident in your ability and what you have to offer the universe, and the universe will give back. So, like, it's okay to feel jealous. It's okay to feel like, damn, I need that moment. But it's not okay to discredit someone else.
Oh, yeah, because as many times as I've seen someone get something and, you know, do incredible things, as much as I would love that myself, because, of course, like, as an artist and as a human being at the end of the day, of course I want those things. But I never falter to give that person their roses and to congratulate them and be like, yo, I'm proud of you. You did that shit. You really put your feet in that shit. Like, you got that. I will never not give someone their credit.
When it's your turn, it's your turn.
That's it.
And you just have to wait. That's it. When it's your turn, it's your turn. You put in work to make sure you're ready for when your turn comes. Not to say when your turn comes, you're going to automatically be successful, because if you haven't been preparing for that moment, you about to mess up that opportunity.
You about to be Rabbit on 8 Mile.
Yeah.
And choke on stage.
You need to be ready, because mom spaghetti, that shit is real. Whew.
I gotta cool off after that one.
I know, that got a little deep. That got a little hot. Got that coochie sweat going, deep and hot. That's what we talking about.
It sure do.
It's the summertime, about to rinse these drawers out on the hanger outside. It's humid because the Midwest ain't got nice summers. I don't care what none of y'all say. Go enjoy a West Coast summer where there's no humidity. But anyways, I'm not on the West Coast anymore, so I need to stop like big up in the West Coast. You know, I'm just trying to be a poser, like I still live there. But I'll be back soon. Don't worry, y'all gonna see me on the red carpet soon. So anyways,
I say we because we haven't left yet. We
Yeah.
haven't left yet. We might be here, but we ain't left yet.
but anyways, if you take anything from the stories we've told you, it's about wait for when it's your moment. Be honest with yourself. Are you really putting in the work to deserve that spotlight? Because if you're not, then chill. It's okay. Your time comes when it comes. Don't rush the process. I know some of y'all don't want to play the background character. Y'all remember that group Digital Underground? They were famous for that song, Do the Hump.
Do the Humpty Hump.
Do the Humpty Hump. Here's your chance, do the
your
dance,
dance.
and do the hump. They had quotable lines like, we got busy in a Burger King bathroom. A lot of people don't know Tupac Shakur, the legendary Tupac, used to be a background dancer for Digital Underground. He was on stage humping blow-up dolls for years. 4 years.
I remember that.
Tupac grew up in California, moved to New York. He went to a school, studied acting with Jada Pinkett Smith. That's why him and Jada are friends and shit like that. Moved back to Cali, worked with Digital Underground. He wanted a career in music, and so he got hooked up with Digital Underground. So what Digital Underground made him do was dance on stage and hump blow-up dolls. Then long story short, as some of y'all already know, because y'all like, who the hell is Digital Underground? Well, Tupac superseded all of them. Tupac became one of the biggest hip-hop legends in the world. Still to this day, this dude been dead since 1998 or 97. I forgot, but Tupac been dead for a long-ass time. But he's still remembered as one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. But people forget. He was humping blow-up dolls on stage. He played his position. He knew this was his opportunity. He's like, I want to be in the music industry. If this is what I got to do, if I got to dance and hump blow-up dolls, I'm there. And he humped his way to stardom. Because Bashak G and Digital Underground finally gave him a chance and let him spit a verse on one of their songs. And that song went big, and that blew up his moment. Tupac became somebody in that moment. It's all about playing your role, man.
And that's one of my favorite songs too. Round and round, round we go and get around.
Yep. Gotta just play your role for the right moment. Because there ain't nothing wrong with being a part of someone's squad if it's building an opportunity for you. Tupac knew what was up. He was patient, and it paid off. I thought we had a good discussion, so I have nothing else to say. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
And think about Margot Robbie naked.
Make your dreams possible, man.
Harley Quinn. All right, bye.